A week after an attack on a Muslim man at Valley Fair Mall, we're taking a closer look tonight at hate crimes in the state. The Utah Department of Public Safety says it's seen a significant increase in violent online rhetoric and extremist activity just over the past decade.
The goal for investigators is to identify someone on a path towards violence and intervene before a crime is ever committed. Liv Kelleher is taking a closer look at what law enforcement is doing right now to proactively detect and stop extremism. Liv.
Yeah, Heidi, the chief of investigations tells me that law enforcement agencies here in Utah investigate over 100 reported hate crimes each year. And the most common reason people are targeted is religion, race, sexual orientation, and gender identity. Hateful or extreme beliefs don't necessarily lead to criminal acts. But DPS Chief of Investigations Tanner Jensen says the path from rhetoric to violence can move quickly.
Right now it's more difficult than ever, especially with online and social media and the ubiquitous amounts of threats that we see and where that line is.
Investigators monitor tips, work with local, state, and federal partners, and assess whether someone is progressing from extreme rhetoric to radicalization and potentially towards action.
When it comes to online radicalization, online violent rhetoric, it's a daily occurrence that we have to balance those constitutional rights with possibly some type of criminal investigation.
What are the difficulties of trying to catch these crimes before they happen? What are the challenges?
The biggest difficulty in catching these crimes is making sure that community members report it to law enforcement.
Investigators say those reports may not always lead to an immediate arrest, but they can help authorities identify a pattern, assess a threat, and potentially intervene. Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill echoed that message, urging people not to dismiss or normalize bias-driven threats and harassment.
I need you not to tolerate this. I need you to report this. I need you to call your police and document this. Hate crimes are vehemently underreported.
Now, that last soundbite you heard from Sim Gill was at a town hall held here at the Utah Islamic Center earlier tonight. Elected officials, law enforcement, interfaith leaders, and community members gathered here tonight to discuss how to combat hateful rhetoric and extremism after a man from this community was stabbed at Valley Fair Mall last week. Now, the district attorney is pursuing a victim targeting enhancement in that case, or what colloquially is known as a hate crime. Heidi?
Liv, you mentioned the DPS does investigate hundreds of hate crimes every year, but this most recent attack was against a Muslim man. Do we know how he's doing and how the community in general is doing?
Yeah, Heidi, we actually heard from Sohail for the first time tonight. He has been released from the hospital and is back home recovering. He briefly joined that town hall via Zoom. He was stabbed over a dozen times and has a long road to recovery, but he said he doesn't hold any grudges against the man who stabbed him, and he hopes that his story helps to educate people here in Utah and across the country about the impacts of Islamophobia.
And Liv, a pretty good mix of people tonight, law enforcement, elected officials, religious leaders, all at tonight's meeting. What was the main thrust of the discussion there tonight?
Yeah, the main focus of the discussion tonight really was safety and how to combat hateful speech online before it translates into in-person violence like we saw last week at Valley Fair Mall. Now, District Attorney Sim Gill said that one of the biggest barriers here is reporting, and he's encouraging community members to speak up if they see something. Take a listen.
In a free society, we also get to say what is not appropriate. In a free society, we also get to question that level of intolerance and hate. And we owe that to each other, not because you may not be the person who is being targeted at that moment, and you can breathe a sigh of relief. You do it because this is what dignity demands on a fundamental level of one person to another.
Now again, Sim Gill emphasized that something shouldn't turn into a violent act before a community acknowledges that there is a problem. Law enforcement again echoed that sentiment that people should take note of, report, and document anything they see as harassment, concerning behavior, or hateful rhetoric and hate crimes. He said again, people should not be afraid to say something if they see something. Reporting live in West Jordan, I'm Liv Kelleher with KUTV.